night of March 18th, 1990, one of the most daring crimes in history unfolded in Boston, Massachusetts. By sunrise, 13 priceless works of art had vanished. More than 3 decades later, the crime remains unsolved, and the missing masterpieces have never been recovered. This is the story of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist. It was just after midnight when 2 men dressed as police officers arrived outside the museum. The city was still celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and many people were out late enjoying the festivities. The museum's security staff consisted of only a few guards. At approximately 1:24 a.m., the 2 men approached the museum entrance and buzzed the intercom. They claimed they were responding to a disturbance call. Although museum policy prohibited opening the door to anyone, one guard made a decision that would change history. He let them in. Almost immediately, the situation turned suspicious. The visitors were not police officers. They were thieves. The men told the guard that he looked familiar and might have an outstanding warrant. When he stepped away from his desk, the thieves quickly moved in. Both guards were handcuffed and tied up in the museum basement. The thieves now had complete control of the building. For the next 81 minutes, they walked through the museum's galleries without interruption. They appeared to know exactly what they wanted. One by one, they removed some of the museum's most valuable treasures. Among the stolen works were paintings by Dutch master Rembrandt. One of them, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, was especially significant. It remains the only known seascape ever painted by Rembrandt. The thieves also stole works by Vermeer, Degas, and several other renowned artists. Yet what puzzled investigators was the strange selection of items. The criminals ignored many masterpieces worth millions of dollars. Instead, they took certain pieces while leaving even more valuable artworks untouched. Experts questioned whether the thieves truly understood art, or whether they were working from a specific list. By the time they left the museum, 13 artworks were gone. The estimated value of the stolen collection would eventually exceed $500 million. It was, and still is, considered the largest property theft in modern history. The following morning, museum staff discovered the crime. The news spread rapidly around the world. Investigators from local police departments and the FBI launched an enormous investigation. The museum itself became a crime scene. Agents carefully examined every room, every frame, and every piece of evidence. One detail stood out immediately. The thieves had removed the paintings directly from their frames. To this day, the empty frames still hang on the museum walls. They serve as a reminder of what was lost. As investigators dug deeper, numerous theories emerged. Some suspected organized crime groups operating in the northeastern United States. Others believed the artworks had been stolen as bargaining chips for future criminal negotiations. Over the years, dozens of suspects were examined. Several individuals connected to organized crime were investigated. Informants claimed to know where the paintings had been hidden. Tips arrived from around the world. Yet every promising lead eventually reached a dead end. No arrests were ever made. The mystery only grew larger. How could criminals remove $500 million worth of art and disappear without a trace? Some investigators believe the paintings were transported through criminal networks shortly after the theft. Others think they may have been hidden for years in private locations. A few theories suggest the artworks were damaged or destroyed. However, authorities continue to believe that at least some of the pieces may still exist. The FBI has spent decades pursuing leads. Rewards totaling millions of dollars have been offered for information leading to recovery of the stolen art. Despite these efforts, the museum's walls remain empty. The missing masterpieces have never returned home. What makes this case so fascinating is that it combines careful planning, bold execution, and enduring mystery. The thieves did not use advanced technology. They did not break through vaults. Instead, they relied on deception. Two men posing as police officers convinced a guard to open a door. That single moment allowed them to carry out one of the most successful heists in history. More than 30 years later, questions remain unanswered. Who were the thieves? Who planned the operation? Where are the paintings now? And will the missing masterpieces ever be found? Until those questions are answered, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist remains one of the world's greatest unsolved crimes.